Joining us now is Democratic Congresswoman Veronica Escobar of Texas. She visited Fort Bliss in her district yesterday and spoke directly with Afghan evacuees who are now being housed there. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being with us. You had a chance to speak to some of the first Afghan refugees arriving here in the United States. What condition were they in?
Good morning, John. I did. I feel so incredibly privileged that I had the opportunity to be there and to speak with families and to tour the Fort Bliss facility and all of the accommodations that are being made for the people that our soldiers call our guests. I saw small children. I saw a nursing baby. I saw a lot of women, families, and person after person that I was able to speak with and who I was able to visit with thanked us. And I had the opportunity of speaking with a translator, and he and his wife were able to make it out. He spoke fluent English. His wife is an Afghan journalist. They had to leave their family behind, and it was heartbreaking. But their family did not work for the U.S. government or with the U.S. government, and so it was one of those examples for me about how no matter how successful the withdrawal could have been, there are going to be families who are going to be split simply because not everyone worked for the U.S. government. But he was so grateful. He was so happy to be there. I asked him how his journey was, and I expected to hear a pretty harrowing account. And he just said, "It was good. It was good. I'm glad to be here."
Well, look, and they are the lucky ones, lucky in the sense that they're here, not lucky in that it wasn't deserving. I mean, this is what they were promised. And the idea that they have to leave their family behind is heartbreaking. I can't imagine what it must be like for the people who you visited with, who know that their lives may be saved because of where they are now standing in Texas, but that someone that they love is in Afghanistan.
I can't even begin to imagine. And, they talked about the limitations or he mentioned to me the limitations of the SIV and the visa that provided safety for him because he was one of our allies who worked alongside with our U.S. troops. And so he was able to bring his wife, but he could not bring his entire extended family. That just was not, unfortunately, that he wasn't able to benefit from that. The American Red Cross is on site at Fort Bliss, and I am so grateful to them as well, along with my incredible gratitude for all of the troops who are doing an amazing job at Fort Bliss. The American Red Cross is bringing in tablets and telephones so that our Afghan guests can call their family members in Afghanistan, reach out, stay in touch with them as long as they are in our care at Fort Bliss, to hopefully try to ease some of the stress and some of the concern for their family.
And I know that these efforts are being made around the country for the people who are here already and will be arriving in the next few weeks. What do you think needs to happen after August 31st for the people who are still there? What will you, as a member of Congress, work to achieve?
I think two things, John. I think first and foremost, as a member of Congress, I am going to press the administration for a plan for women and girls who were left behind. I'm one of the vice chairs of the Women's Democratic Caucus, and this has been absolutely top of mind for us. The women activists, teachers, journalists, advocates who are going to remain behind. We need to work as closely with the Taliban. As odd as that sounds and as unbelievable as that sounds, the administration is going to need to work closely with the Taliban because we've got to do everything possible for the women and girls that are left behind, and also any Americans and any Afghan allies. So there's a lot of work that will continue after August 31st. But here at home, John, we as Americans have an obligation as well. I've heard a lot of my colleagues pointing to the administration, pointing to mentioning promises that need to be kept. We in America need to keep our promises as well. We are going to be receiving thousands of Afghan refugees, thousands of guests in our country, lots of children, lots of moms, lots of families. We need to wrap our arms around them I am very concerned about the direction some of my Republican colleagues are going in with their descriptions of our guests and these refugees. So we have to live up to this moment. We have to embrace our values and the foundation of our country and keep our promise here at home as well.
It's time for people to ask what kind of a human being that they want to be. Congresswoman Veronica Escobar, we appreciate you joining us this morning. This is some of the first face-to-face account we have of these refugees now arriving in the United States, so we appreciate it.
Thank you, John.